What I'm about to admit breaks my heart every day. I've hurt so many people because I was a selfish person who trusted no one. I've been through so many heartbreaks before getting married, that couldn't trust no man. My father died in the hospital from cancer. One of the last thing he told me, trust no man who works all day. There's no such job. My father cheated on my mother and left for another woman. I know the ones who will read this will mock me or hate me for what I to my ex-husband. But let me tell you, he may hate me, but I will always love him. There is nothing I can do to make up for what he has done for me and my kids. He can't hate me more than I hate myself. When we first met, he seemed like such a confident fellow. He walked up to me and started talking to me. He was hilarious, had amazing stories, super hard worker, and really smart. We met in college and he was engineer major. We dated and a little while later I've met his friend. We graduated and husband became an officer rank in the military. Before boot camp, he would train for the whole day. If it wasn't training with the Marines he paid, it was with MMA fighters. I was bored and he never had time for me. His friend gave me hints and suggested we should hang out as friends. He used to tell me he feels out of husband's league. Let's call him John. John worked at Target. John would always text me funny jokes. I didn't feel like it was anything bad, so I texted back. Next thing we know, the jokes turned into flirting comments. At this point, husband was nowhere near, and if a man is never near, he's always cheating. John would always tell me, he's a prick. He's always taking advantage of me, but gives me no time for me. I agreed. John the first went on dates, while husband would be killing himself in training. We ended up getting a hotel, and slept with each other. John made me promise I won't tell. He feared for his life if husband found out. I said well he's cheating too, so I don't care if he's hurt. Fast forward, 2 years later, I got pregnant. I tell husband I'm pregnant and he gets super excited. He picks me up and starts crying because he's going to be a father. He tells me he loves me and kisses 1,000 times. I never told him about the cheating. I asked him if he's seeing someone else, he swears he never done anything like that. I had no time to feel guilty, so I never told him. He takes care of me for the whole months. Rents out a beautiful place for the baby shower. He invited my family, his family. What an awesome man. Invited 300 people in a matter of 2 days. He loves to feel in control and doesn't let me lift a finger. My mother loved him. My mother-in-law called me her baby. Whenever husband and I argued, she would slap him for arguing with her baby. Honestly, my new family was amazing, all the more reason to hate myself. I give birth to twins. 2 beautiful babies that came out looking nothing like husband. My heart drops. I'm scared he'll notice. That anyone will notice. They come out looking like John. I'm a horrible. While my husband goes and train, I'll go sleep with his closest friend. While he's excited for having a baby, I'm going behind his back. It will destroy him. Why did I keep going? He wasn't there for me timely. While he's at boot camp, I couldn't afford of being spotted with John, so we met secretly. While I receive his letters, I would write back while John is sleeping on my bed. Husband was there for the birth of the girls. He held them for the first time and started crying. He said he's going to be an even better parent than his parents. I believed him. I couldn't make eye contact cause I'll feel super guilty. I knew they weren't his kids. I didn't know how to tell him. John knew as well. A year later, husband took us to Disney World. He surprised me with a beautiful ring. Since the day I met you, you've been there for me. We studied together, we graduated together. We made a family together. There's nothing we can't do. Every time I look at my girls, I fall in love all over. I have the best right in front of me and will never let go of my girls. You make me a better man every time. I need that balance in my life. I need you for the rest of my life. Will you marry me? Of course I said yes. My tears wasn't tears of joy, it was tears of guilt. He wiped them off and said, "Why do I feel guilt coming your tears?" My heart dropped and I said, "No, I'm happy. I love you." I did love him, but I didn't deserve him. John and I still saw each other. Husband would get deployed and we would have time constantly. Husband was away. He couldn't tell me when he was coming back. John told me it's all a lie. He said he's coming back in 5 months. Husband said he can't tell me what does for the military. What job in the military is so secretive unless he's a spy? Bullshit in my mind. I was so sure he was sleeping with other women. John and I would take care of the girls as husband is away. Have time all day. I told John he needs to work so he can take care of his kids. He said not to tell him what to do. That he's a grown-ass man. We argued and he said, "Careful, don't make me tell husband. I can't afford for something like that to happen." I stayed shut. One day, he wanted some and I said, "What if he's not cheating? What if he's just working?" He hugged me, started kissing me, whispered to me, "Listen, I knew this man my entire life. He always lies to women, telling them he loves them, and when they're not looking, he's with another woman. I'm telling you he's with another woman over there." Continues kissing my neck. I enjoyed time with him. He threw on the bed. We started. 10 minutes later, he bangs right through the door. My life was over. In a flash I saw his tears and then he's killing the best man of our wedding. I'm screaming, "You're going to kill him." I'm trying to get him off of John. Husband is a 5 feet 11 plus 200 pounds man about to kill a 5 feet 8 guy, 150 pounds guy. I'm 5 feet 2. What can I do? I'm doing the best I can to stop him. I push him back and make him look at me. He lost his mind. I saw his pupil getting bigger and smaller over and over again. I'm crying because I never seen him like this. I look at John and he's washed up in blood. Husband literally screams at me and destroys the whole room. I was so scared. I literally thought I was going to die. At this moment, I believed he never did anything behind my back. Cops came, ambulance came. So much happened. 2 weeks later, we had to get paternity test and lie detector tested. My world dropped. Husband has never been with another woman behind my back. Never even kissed. My father told me all men cheats when they're away for too long. I haven't seen my husband in 6 months. How is it possible my husband never cheated? It was hard to believe it, but if the questions I know were true, these questions had to be true. What have I done? I've been betraying my husband so many times. I've cheated on him since the beginning, the baby shower, the gender reveal. During the wedding John came up to me, smacked my ass and squeezed me, and while my husband was deployed, I brought his friend over to sleep with him. Not only that, I made him believe he's the father of my girls. All this was revealed to him that day. And that day all my guilt I tried to compress for years exploded out of me. John's test revealed he's been lying to me so he can sleep with me. That he was always a jealous piece of crap, so he decided to break husband. My mother was heartbroken. She cried all night. She loved husband like her son. She looked at like I'm her enemy. She told me, "I'm just like my father. He gave you a home, while he's out here putting food on the table, giving you a comfortable bed, taking care of your kids. He's surviving out there. You couldn't tell him he's not the father, that the father is the best man of the wedding? And you're pregnant again, were you going to tell him he's the father to this one too? I've failed as a mother." She looked down, cried and walked away. My father cheated and beat down my mother physically, and verbally, and emotionally. At home, I found husband lifeless on the floor, out of his mind. I hold on to him, begging for his forgiveness. I look at him and it's like he's dead but still breathing. I've destroyed the one man who loved me, the man who never went behind my back. He always had my back. I thought maybe we can make this work, and if he gave me another chance that I would be the best wife there is. He divorced me. Before all that, one of his men said to me, "Do you know what he went through?" He ordered me not to say a word, but it's women like you that makes me not want to marry. He saved my life, he saved a little girl's life. You've betrayed a hero. I've said so much, but fast forward. 8 years later. He hates me till this day. I beg for forgiveness, but he ignores me. I haven't seen him in months at this point. He's still in my girl's life. I still feel tremendous guilt, but what can I do? I wish I can change things. My son is 8 years old at this point. My baby. The best little man God has given is dying. His heart is failing and he literally dying. Telling me not to cry, that he's going to love even when he's not here. All of a sudden, doctors comes in for surgery. My baby needed a heart transplant, but I don't have that kind of money. Nurse brings me outside and tells me it's all been paid for. I asked WHO, when, how? What? WHO. My sister runs up to me, she asked did they take her nephew? I shout yes, but asked who paid? John can have this money. Sister shook her head and ex-husband for a favor. My world dropped. My heart dropped. There's no way ex-husband has this money. About 5 hours later, I saw baby sleeping. The machine showed his new heart beating like a drum. I started crying, kissing my baby. I called ex and he won't pick up. I constantly keep crying. The man I hurt so bad. The man I betrayed so brutally with his best friend. The man who stayed with my girls because he couldn't bring himself to leave them saved my baby boy. He was the only person in the world that was able to pay for my baby's surgery. John never took care of his kids ever since he got that beat down. He abandoned them. Of course ex didn't take care of my baby boy. He never hated him, but he never built a bond with him. Baby always asked me who is his father. I cried and hated myself every day. I look at the mirror and see the woman who destroyed her kids' lives for being selfish. My bae starts walking again later on. I beg ex to let me see him. That I need to find a way to make it up to him. I know there's no way for me to ever do that. He told me, he had to tell tons of parents their son/daughter has been killed and it never got easy. He said he never wanted to see me bury my own child. He never wanted the girls to lose their little brother. So he instantly paid for the surgery. Till this day he's never trusted another friend, not to mention woman. He doesn't have biological kids. He pushes everyone away before they get the chance to get to know his name. He visits his buried comrades every weekend. I hate myself for this. I always ask God forgiveness and for one day for him to forgive me. I could never forgive myself. I know the comment will be harsh. Maybe I'll deserve every hate I'll get, but please give me advice on how to heal from this. How long will it take for me to be forgiven? Or for him to trust and love again?
Thanks you for watching. Everyday new movies. See you soon.